Does body count matter?
Should a man wife a city girl?
What about old mentor wives? They accidentally called one of my kids' moms my wife. Like, I wasn't never married to her. She said, Negro, you married her in the spirit? I'm going to go through I call it your whole facts, okay?
Yeah.
I need to go through your whole facts. I need to figure out who
many?
you done dealt with. Hey, so you dealt with, okay, this guy, if I might have known him.
Is that frat?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, listen.
If you know you a hoe, if you know you out here bad, like, don't put yourself in situations. Y'all smashing through a bunch of people. STD is arising.
Man.
I don't care what nobody say.
You just gotta hope you don't get the one that's gonna stay.
Exactly. Shoot, period. Ain't nobody got time to be taking drugs for 7 days to get rid of an itch, a burn, or a bump. Man. Yuck.
This is an Iwebu production.
Period. What's up, y'all? My name is TK.
And my name is Namdi.
And we are the Iwebus. Yes. And you are here pillow talking with the Iwebus.
Pillow talking with the Iwebus.
Listen, welcome back, or welcome for the first time. Yes. Listen, here we motivate kingdom living in all aspects of life while encouraging you to continuously strive to be all God has called you to be. So if you desire to be better, if you are desiring to evolve, to level up, baby, this is the place. It's a place for everyone.
Hey, man, you dropped it to the right place, man. Whether you're single, married, whatever.
All of it.
Hey, you're in the right place talking to the right couple. So welcome in.
Yes. A little bit for everyone. But before we dive into all of these it's
gonna be some great topics.
Yeah. We want to make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Baby, we hit
600 subscribers. Hey, welcome to the family. Everybody that's new, the ones that's already been rocking with us since day one.
Yes.
We're so grateful that you guys are here, man. Continue to rock with us, man. Share it. Like, tell somebody, man. You need to check out this couple. You know, also hit that like button because it sends us up the algorithm, man.
Yeah.
With all the different trash and all that mess that's going on out there, man. You need a kingdom couple out there really talking about what really needs to be talked about in the right way.
Facts. And I just want to also say shout out to those that let me know you are sharing our podcast with your friends, coming up to me, inboxing me, letting us know that this is blessing you. We will never stop saying thank you. So if y'all get tired of this segment, it's going to happen every episode as long as I can remember just to be grateful because we don't take this stuff for granted. We are, from a small place, a small city, and anytime our story, especially because most of our story has a lot of pain in it. If it blesses someone, that is a big deal to us. And that's literally what we love doing, is being able to bless y'all. And so we want to dive into some great topics, y'all. If you are on social media of any sort, if you are Instagram, TikTok, any of them, right now there is a trending topic. This is a trending couple, and typically and usually all for the wrong reasons. Blueface and Chrisean Rock. So I'm guessing here lately, Blueface has been humiliating Chrisean Rock, his future baby mama, and just had a lot of hurtful things to say, unfortunately, on her birthday. So we want to show y'all this video, show y'all this clip, a heartbreaking clip, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
My first baby mama's a real and I feel bad because I've been dealing with this Me Too ass you hear me? My BN, she ain't no Me Too ass I ain't never seen her in the club with nobody, none of that, right? So now today I'm thinking like, damn, I should have just been with that I done bust this up, made her whole life.
Yeah, she said, I don't feel anything, I'm just watching you. Don't feel bad for me, I'm gonna shake this off. Plus, I'm grown. I did this to myself.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I know a lot of people are like kikiing over this, and this is tea, and this is like it's so sad that toxicity is this popular, that this is clickbait for us, that we're like eager to see someone's heart being broken, eager to see this pregnant woman going through the distress that she's been going through. And so I first am saddened by our culture and that we made toxic relationships popular. And it's just so bizarre to me because people are rapping and singing about if it ain't toxic, if it's not, if I'm not delusional, if I'm not going nuts over you, if I'm not busting your windows up, I want toxic love. And I think it's just such a sad place to come to, how we are continuously seeing chivalry and romance and writing letters and dates and waiting and the anticipation and the challenge of the man going after the one, like that's gone.
It's dying.
Like it's really, really, really dying. And we are in a culture of people that they like this. Like it's sad. And so for me personally, I am saddened for Chrisean Rock. I know that she talked about she was gonna like make a gospel song or she was gonna do a gospel album. I don't know. It was either a song or an album on like Instagram one time. And the main thing that when I see this, I just see a woman somewhere down the line that something got stolen. Yeah. Rather her identity, rather her perspective of love, rather her perspective of a man, of what relationships look like, of what something she didn't get or something got stolen. And I really, really, really will pray, and I absolutely will pray that, I know she mentioned the song, back to the song, the gospel song, that she actually grows in her relationship with Christ. And the reason why I'm saying this is a lot of times it takes us getting to really humiliated, embarrassing, dark, low moments that's like, oh, Jesus, I forgot about you. Let me try to get back to you. Let me figure. And so I pray. I mean, I've seen her talk like about Jesus and say, no, I pray. Like I talk to God. I know he with me. Like, so I pray that maybe out of this mess, as Romans 8:28 says, that all things work together according to his plan that he has for us when we follow him. I pray that this works out, but I so dislike that we're displaying this baby girl like this. Don't get me wrong. She's doing it, right? Yeah. She's doing it. I'm not taking away her actions. It's her fault first and foremost. But I'm just like, instead of like reposting it, like let's send the prayers. Let's send the resources. Let's send the women groups. Let's say, hey sis, I see you're pregnant. We got some other women that's striving to get their life back and find their identity in Christ. What city do you live in? Oh, you're in LA. Boom. We got church. We got a women's group. We got this. We got like let's I pray, and I don't know if it's not happening. Yeah. But that's what I hope for. Like people are reaching out to her, and I hate to like just leave Blueface out of the picture, but I'm more so, obviously I'm a woman, so I'm going to lean more towards Chrisean, and I just pray she gets help to see herself. Like, girl, you are gorgeous. Yeah. You're young as heck. Yeah. You like, I know I'm going to sound old, but like literally you have your whole life in front of you. And I am aching for the child that unfortunately will have the evidence of this on the internet of their parents.
Simply a sad situation. Yeah. The crazy thing is, I know mainly of Blueface and Chrisean Rock basically from hearing about this drama. I think I heard of him making one song or so. Yeah. And that's it.
Tatiana.
And then I started finding out about this young lady that's going through all this trauma dealing with him. Yeah. From experience, I've been in my early 20s, unfortunately having toxic relationships, going through those type of things. Never really aired it out too much online. I think I did like maybe one crazy post when I wasn't able to see my child, like when I was, maybe my daughter's like 1 or so and she's 17 now. So that was way back. But again, these are things that they're going to regret. Their kids are going to be able to look at these things. And I believe a lot of it, babe, is based off of these drugs. He's continually using drugs, at least from what I'm hearing. Yeah. And then she is, and then now, like you're saying, she's kind of been more sober here recently.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, she hasn't been into, I guess, this hyper violent lady that she usually is, and obviously with her being pregnant. But yeah, I just wish that she knew what her worth was. I wish that he knew how he should honor someone who's having his child.
And he don't even honor himself.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, we can't expect that from someone that don't honor himself. That's why I automatically just separated them. Yeah, I don't wish for them to do anything together. Like, no, y'all need to separate.
I wish they could separate, and I wish that, and I think, babe, like you said, I believe that there are people who do hit inboxes that are saying, "Hey, listen, we have a group here. You should come and visit with us." But they're in that lifestyle. They in that life. They're the people that surround them. I saw Jess Hilarious giving some advice to her one time. Was very heartfelt from Jess Hilarious. Good women, just the culture that a lot of them are in. I mean, many of the men are like that. It's all the same. You know, so she's gonna run into the same thing. So this is why we say choose Christ, man. You don't need to go through these type of things, you know, this toxic back and forth. I don't know when this became the dope thing to do. I mean, when I first heard it, when I first started hearing stuff in songs where girls was like, I don't care if he cheated. Yeah. I don't care if he did that. I believe it might have been, I think you might have told me about Cardi B, like going after Offset after he didn't cheated multiple times. And she's pulling up on live and she's a millionaire.
Still fighting.
If you guys are running to this stuff, you are out of your mind. Run to the cross now. Listen, it's nobody perfect over there. The people that you're looking at right now, we are not perfect. Yeah. But we're getting it right little by little. Yeah. And you don't see a lot of people in that type of mess when they're inside of the church, when they're doing it the kingdom way, man. And so it's so sad. I've been there as far as the whole, you know, child's mom and all of that. But I never thought any of that type of stuff was cute at all. And I ended those things probably mid-20s or so. Yeah. And never got this toxic. When I'm hearing about how he's talking about her, I'm like,
it's embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
Yeah. When I saw one of their interviews where she was pregnant and he basically was upset that she wasn't popping off. Like he was upset that she wasn't making a viral, because he was like, man, let's make this viral. And she like, man, like, and so it's so crazy seeing her. And this is a lot of times why I know people do run to drugs and people do run to these substances, because you're able to continue to run away from your problem, right? Yeah. And so her being sober, even when she responded to what he said on her live, you can tell she's tired. She's just like, I don't know why he's talking like that. I don't know why he's doing.
Her mind's sober right now.
Huh? Yeah, her mind is sober. Yeah. She don't, and then she's pregnant too. And so it's just sad overall. Like, we don't just scream Jesus and give your life to the Lord and do it this way. It's a reason why the Lord set things up the way that he did. Yeah. It's a reason why there are certain boundaries that he placed, and there's a reason why he says lean on me. There's a reason why he says let me be your peace. There's a reason why he says let me love on you, let me show you who you are, let me tell you who you are. Because if you don't let the Lord tell you who you are, guess who will? Your body count, your exes, abusive mother, a father that wasn't there, your friends, the parties, drugs, music, culture. Everybody is willing to tell you who you are. Yeah. But the only truth and the only real identity is in Jesus. Really? So let him tell you. And so I see these things. I see how culture is moving. And I'm like, dang, y'all just want to keep avoiding the answer, right? Like, y'all want to just keep. And then we say, oh, that marriage is not this and marriage ain't that no more. And no, the way y'all doing marriage ain't it. The way y'all doing relationships ain't it. The way y'all doing sisterhood and brotherhood and community, it's not going to work without Christ in the center, because he reminds us to stay intact. He reminds us to be gracious when we're speaking to one another. He reminds us to be self-aware. So if I do confront you, you ain't shocked by it because you've been talking to Christ. Oh, I know. I know that about me. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know, so I just hate that for that we're avoiding the number one thing that will continuously remind us guide us on how to maneuver in every aspect of life. How to handle your money, how to handle your relationships, your children, your family, your career, your calling, your emotions, your mental health, your physical health. Like, the answer is Jesus.
It's all in the word, man. And I just, we pray for them. Yeah. I hope that they can get it right. Yeah. You know, I could tell you just from experience, looking back, like right now, it's all fun and games. Like, you might be somebody that's going through some of this toxic cycle. You might be a teen that somehow came up on this video right now, or you may be in your 20s and you're not saved and you just came up on this video right now, and you doing this back and forth thing with your baby daddy, your baby mama, and y'all think it's cute. You think it's real cute in your 20s, man, when you feel like you got your whole life ahead of you. When you could kind of get into it, fight with each other, all of that, go have sex and then get it back going and then go through the whole cycle. And it's just, y'all think that that's really dope right now. Let me tell you, as somebody that's ate out that trash can before, okay? Like not a literal, but I ate out that trash can in relationships before. Listen, what it produces on the other end is tragic. Point blank, period. This woman has had to see me, after making those type of decisions, have to deal with those consequences down the line. And even she's been in the line of having to be there and go through it too. Yeah. Because I made those decisions when I was in my early 20s to deal with women that I making temporary decisions, okay? Off a temporary feeling, thinking that this might be something, no type of commitment, okay, and didn't know that it would cost me for another 18 years or so. Literally. No, literally. To this day. You understand? And so I
scars. Scars that they don't talk about that.
No,
they don't.
That's the thing I hate about the industry.
It's just like get ran through, get all the sex you want, drugged up, this and that. And then you see these videos when they're like 60 and they're 70. You're like, oh, I wish I would have did this and that. And it's like, now they gonna tell y'all the scars. But they're and even while you go through it, that's a scary thing. Like she is in such a. That's why I pray that they separate, because when separate and then like, I pray she doesn't have sex until she's married again, because the clouding, the fog that happens with intimacy, when you're intimate with someone, when you're pillow talking with this dude, when you laid up with him, when y'all making money to get millions of dollars together, and this is your. She got his face tatted multiple times on her.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, like it's on her. It's like I think it's twice on her neck at least, if not on her arm as well. Like she got his whole face on her body, and I just think about the future.
That permanent stuff. Man.
Yeah, like now you're gonna have to get that covered up when y'all officially going, because this is not gonna be forever. Wow. Like even in on Breakfast Club, the co-host or whatever was like, this is a forever type of love. It shouldn't be. Like, and you sitting there like 40 or 50 years old. Like this should not be a forever love. That's horrible.
Yeah, the crazy thing is they're like, oh, you gonna be back with her and all, and they probably will. Especially when she has the baby. This is not
their first public breakup.
Yeah, but especially I know how it goes down. Especially when it comes down to when someone has a child with somebody, you may temporarily pull back up because now it's this emotional connection because y'all just had a life with each other. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you're meant for each other. That's why we say, man, wait on the ring. And then, young lady, wait. Do not make that decision right now. Please. Like you'll try to make a dude that was a temporary dude, you'll try to make him that forever thing. Yeah. Think that you supposed to be his ride or die, catch cases for him and all that type of mess. You understand? And that ain't even somebody that you was supposed to spend the rest of your life with.
Any part of your life with.
No, any part of your life. He was just maybe supposed to be a friend. Yeah. And now you have to deal with these things, man. Again, I got the scars to show it. I could go on and on about it. And I just think that it sucks that, people like on the Breakfast Club and all that. That's why we speak up. I'm someone who watches them, but at the same time, I'll be sitting there looking at what they laughing at and thinking that's like cute. And it's like, man, are y'all serious?
How old are y'all?
Like, this is tragic. Yeah. Like, this is really tragic what they're going through. Y'all done seen them. If you called their phone right now, and I bet you they might pick up actually too. Mm. You understand? And so I just don't understand like how they can look at that and think that any of this type of stuff, oh, they going through, oh, look at them kids or whatever. Okay. Yeah, they're going to be some 40-year-olds still having to deal with each other. And then they like, why did I talk to him? Why did I talk to her again?
It's a whole baby in the picture. Yeah. It's not just young toxic love. Yeah. There's a human. Yeah. Like there's a whole baby, and that's the last point that I will make is that that's the sad part. Yeah. It's like this is why back to the point why we say don't do it is because, and I know a lot of people don't care because they be like, girl, I'll just get rid of it. But the sad part is now you have this baby in the picture. She, as a woman, you're gonna try to work it out with your kid's father. You ain't gonna want you're not gonna want your child to not know the father. You still have that emotional connection. Like I can remember how vulnerable I felt when I first had your kids. Like when we first had our children, I remember the level of vulnerability. Like, oh my gosh, I just had his seed. Like, I know it's a small deal to people now because there's baby mamas running throughout the streets everywhere, and everybody having everybody kids, and you get to 3, 4, 5, 6 baby mamas. It don't matter no more. But for me, that was my first child. With this man, that was a big deal to me. Of course, I want him to be my husband. Of course, I want him to be in the house. But when you are not anchored in Christ, because of that, I feel like it's a natural desire, right? Yeah. Because of that natural desire, you will make a temporary fling a permanent thing because of your situation of being his child's mother. And so that's what's so heartbreaking, because it's like, oh, leave him, walk away. But I also understand why she would go back. Not healthy. It's not good. And it's very toxic, but it's the consequence of doing permanent things in temporary relationships, temporary situations, and things that just shouldn't have been made up to this.
Yeah. Now the two have become one flesh, babe. And now that's where the soul tie. That's what you're talking about.
Yep.
That soul is tied up now. Now they got this piece that's just continually hanging on with each other.
So
it's a sad situation, man. Prayers go out to them. I hope they eventually see the light, definitely and truly. So moving on to more, I guess, tragic situations when it comes to relationships. Monique.
Not tragic.
Right. Monique, many of you might know Monique, the actor, the comedian. Yeah. She has been married now for over 16 years. Many may not have known that marriage has been open. Well, guess what? That marriage is now closed. Yes, Monique has decided to close her marriage. They just announced this news. Check out this clip right here.
Monique and her husband have rethought their open marriage, and now she's sharing why. The Oscar winner tells The Hollywood Reporter that she grew out of the desire for an open agreement with her husband, Sidney Hicks, who was also her manager, explaining, quote, "Life began to happen. I began to see a strength I had never seen before. He loved me at my worst. I didn't want to sacrifice that just for a lay. So I grew out of that." The pair married in 2006 and share 17-year-old twin sons. In the interview, Monique went on to call Hicks, quote, the best manager she's ever had, and explained they are practically inseparable as a couple. The comedian first revealed her open marriage in an interview with Essence back in 2006. 10 years later on her podcast, she reflected on the criticism it drew, claiming people didn't understand. She said they thought it was about swinging and orgies, and they were bringing God into their opinions. Before adding, quote, people lost their minds, and the criticism has never let up. Per Essence, Hicks added at the time that their arrangement was not going to change the dynamic of their relationship because, quote, I'm in love with this woman.
Well, so I guess it's closed. The now open marriage is closed. I just see this is on replay, babe. This is Hollywood on replay for you guys. Go and do whatever it is that I want to do. And now I'm like, now I'm maybe reaping some type of consequence of this. Really, this is what I think. And this is my opinion. I believe that Monique is getting older.
Right.
She's ran her race on sexing it out. From at least from the news that I've read and the different things, allegedly she was was dealing with a guy. She didn't want to let that go. She was okay with them, having an open, like, cool, I'm still be able to see him. You can see who you want. They still come back together. And it was supposed to just work all out and cool. That's all fine and dandy till he probably start catching feelings for somebody. We don't know really what's going on in the background scene of that whole deal. So, for her to say now, I want to close this thing up after she done went out and had her fun, it's just a luxury to me, to be honest, of just being rich. You're just rich, you can do that. So you're able to say, okay, I can handle this type of situation. And I believe the only reason why that man would even stick around for that is because, number one, she got the bag. Number two is also because he get to go and have his fun. Most men in their flesh, they would love to just have multiple women and all that. Yeah. So if I'm him, I'm like, I'm not closing it. What are you talking about? What we done? Why we closing it down? Oh, you done having your fun and now you want me to rub icy hot on you. So that's why we close it up, because your bones are starting. Because it's basically what she's saying. like, you know, she doesn't want to sacrifice what they have for a late. Yeah, no, you almost 60.
Right.
That's why.
Yeah.
Auntie Monique, you almost 60 out in these streets. And that's probably the reason why you ready to close that thing up. The body don't work how you can't throw it how you used to throw it no more. You understand? So yeah. Now you want to sit with the man who you know God forbid something happened to you. The main one, the one that ain't laying you, but the man that's staying, the man that's probably gonna wipe your behind if you can't wipe it. Now you like, I don't want to sacrifice what I got in him for a lay. Because this man could run into a young tenderoni. Yeah. And she really tear that, and then she tear that thing up, and then all of a sudden she got some money too or so. I bet if somebody had a bag, he probably been and left. He might have been and considered some other ways, but Monique got the bag. They actually were friends before this, and he said, man, I mean, this sounds like a win-win situation, I bet. So he went on into it, but I guess, again, she's the one with the bigger bag, so she said, hey, guess what? This agreement is now over. I think it's whack. I think that y'all should know now that, hey, this is not the way you should go. Half the people that's even watching these type of situations, they think it's dope. Like, people in the world think this is dope. They see this, and this reminds me even of the Nick Cannon situation where he's able to have that polygamy. This is just a flipped situation. Yeah. And people will try this. Hey, listen, kids, I know y'all not kids that's probably watching this, but y'all grown babies out there, please do not try this at home. You probably can't barely take care of the one woman you got, the one man that you got. Please don't try to do this multiple thing. Y'all are going to be a wreck. You can financially... Nowadays, none of y'all barely can even do this thing. You understand? And then down the line, what you see is these people end up lonely. They end up usually losing the main love that they probably should have stuck with in the first place or whatever. Yeah. But I guess that won't be the case for Miss Monique because her husband's gonna stay by her side. What you think about this, babe?
Yeah, she had her cake, able to eat it, able to sit, chill, lick the icing. Like she got all of it. And I don't know the man at all. I don't know what his financial situation was before them, but I think it's kind of bizarre. Y'all, we gonna become repetitive after a while. I just want to let y'all know that. Like, it's about to be repetitive because I'm about to say the same thing. It is quite bizarre how people come back to the original way. It is quite interesting how once you've been ran through, drugged through, whatever through, that it's like, oh, I think this one man, one woman thing is supposed to be that. You know, I think about, and I know I'm about to step on some toes with this one.
Do what you got to do.
Even when I think about lesbian relationships or, you know, two men, homosexual relationships, and them having kids, and the difficulty that they have to go through. You got to go get the sperm. You got to put the egg in the girl body, and then you got to make sure got to stop the hormones if they were on hormones to make them a man. You got to stop that, and then they breast coming back now, and you know, it's like so many steps that you have to go through. You trying to get the benefits of doing it the right way. So you're trying to get a child out of a situation that it shouldn't be, right? So you have to go through all these difficult situations. Like, well, if it was just a man and a woman, and don't get me wrong, I do know there are fertility issues. I'm not talking about that. We're not going to dive into that conversation, but let's just speak on the broad spectrum of it. A man and a woman, you can have kids easily. And so I kind of compare that to this thing as well. Like, people get, after they go through routes and see, and they have their temporary fun, and they are able to experience and have an open spirit. And I just want to try a man and a woman, and I want to have threesomes. I want to be in orgies, and I want to be drugged. And, you know, I just want to do me. After you do you for so long, and you wake up, you don't know who you are, and you wake up, you're suicidal because you're clouded in your brain. There's no clarity because you're distracted from your life experiences. Then you go back to the original. And that's kind of just what I see this like. So now that you've been ran through, you want to settle down with, you know, it's like, why didn't you just do that from beginning? Like, it's just not that much sex in the world that you should be desiring more outside of your man. Like that's when we get to a place where, like, and I just want to say this too. this does not mean that believers are not nasty on the inside. This does not mean that we got over here and we just everything shut off. Like Nnamdi's still a man. Right. I still remember what I did. I remember my past. I remember what I did before I met Nnamdi. Yeah. We have that. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, from those experiences, the short experience that I had, I'm like, I knew that produced nothing.
Real talk.
And at y'all big ages, like big ages, y'all don't realize yet, like this is producing nothing. Even when I talk to people that believe in polygamy, and it's like, so what did y'all produce? Like, let's really ask these women, are they okay with that? Yeah. Because most of the time when you talk to them, they really want one man. Yeah. Most of the time when you talk to them, they really don't want that, but they've settled in something has been scarred. And so I just think it's whack, to be honest, to even, I don't know if she ever promoted that they were open. Like,
they said it in an interview in 2006. She let it know that's what they do.
It's just whack. It's whack to me because y'all might have, don't get me wrong, they got some scars from that. They're not gonna tell us.
That's the thing.
They're not gonna tell us. Never. They got some scars from that. Some abortion, some emotional scarring, some STDs,
some fighting that. Oh, so you over there hanging with that chick again? Yeah. Let me tell you one more thing. We're gonna put in them papers if you know what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna put in them papers if y'all see you over there with that.
You catching feelings now?
You know what I'm saying?
So you taking her out to dinner?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So how you feeling about y'all? Like people see this stuff on the outside and be like, man, I should try that. Oh man, he's in a polygamous lifestyle. That's working out for him. I should try that. And here's the thing, like. What they say, you don't have, it's they got a condom for your penis or whatever, but they don't got no condom for your soul. Nah. Like straight up.
It's no way to protect it.
There's no way to protect it.
When you put yourself in those type of situations. Yeah. Like y'all, I mean, I don't know if they had a agreement like we only gonna sleep with these 5 people, or they ran through people. But if you ran through people, like, oh baby, the soul. Y'all souls gotta look like this.
Messed up.
You know, like imagine all the untwisting and untwining they have to do just to get back to themselves. Like they ain't gonna tell. They made that sound good. Like we're just in love and I would never leave and we're ready to settle down. Yet y'all settling down, all right. Yeah. Y'all got some stuff to work through. So I just think it's sad. Yeah. And this is why I want to point this back to what we are doing and why we do it. Yeah. They're not going to tell y'all the scars.
Nobody.
We will.
That's real.
We will share with y'all the consequences of me and Nnamdi sleeping together before we got married. Yes. We share with y'all the consequences that we reaped from shacking, and living with each other prior to getting married. We share with y'all the consequences of having baby mamas. We share with y'all the consequences of me dating women before. We share those consequences. And so we ain't gonna come on here and be like, oh, marriage is this, marriage is that. We're gonna say, oh, it's beautiful, it's divine, and the Lord is good, but it's work. Yes. And it's this, like, we give you both of that. And these people, they gonna tuck back in their houses and act like everything was okay.
All good, yeah. And it's even more the thing that while we say press that like button, while we say hey, share this with someone else's, because
people be capping.
Yeah, people be capping. Nobody's gonna just keep it like people came to us like, man, I can't believe like y'all even said that, like y'all told that.
I'll be like, what did we say?
Like I'm gonna tell, like, hey, I don't know. I mean, I'm open book. People know me from just like actually real life.
No,
I'm gonna let them know. And a lot of times, especially my brothers, I don't want my brothers, especially if they haven't made the certain mistakes, to go through that, man. And so the thing that I hate about like hip hop and this Hollywood lifestyle is like, they don't show those scars. They don't show, man, like this is what happened. I got a STD that I'm living with for the rest of my life now, or any of those type of things. Yeah. We wouldn't have known that R. Kelly, allegedly had any, like, for instance, we didn't find out that he allegedly had something until this whole situation came out about him and the ladies. Yeah. Okay, and then we found out that some of them got this STD. We wouldn't have known any of that. But you would have saw R. Kelly and been like, he's a man. He got ladies.
No, that's common sense. If y'all smashing through a bunch of people, STD is arising. Man. I don't care what nobody say.
You just gotta hope you don't get the one that's gonna stay.
Exactly. Period. Ain't nobody got time to be taking drugs for 7 days to get rid of an itch, a burn, or a bump. Man. Yuck.
I'm telling you, man. So we just tell y'all to rock with the real. Like, press like to send the reel up the timeline, because we got a lot of these fakes out here. They trying to show y'all that this is what's dope. This is the way that you should live. You should have multiple women. This is the way that God made it. And that's wrong. Okay.
And even if he did, this is a very different world. Let's say that. Let's run with that. It's a very different world, and half the people that want to be in polygamy is broke as heck.
Yeah,
y'all can't afford to feed 2 wives. Y'all can't afford to feed 2 families. Y'all can't. How about we just be 100? Because I think that's what makes me even more mad. And this whole different topic about polygamy. Going. I think what makes me so mad is like when they try to be deep. Like, just keep it 100. No, I like multiple women. I am lustful. I am a man of my lust, of my flesh, and I want to get in, because there's women that will be down with that. I've noticed that women be bout down with anything. Yeah. But when they be trying to make it deep, like, no, this is just this and that. You can't even, most people can't even afford the one family that they have. Yeah. Then you want to get multiple women pregnant and multiple baby mamas, the Nick Cannons he's the millionaire. Y'all not.
I want to pull up something, babe, and I know it's kind of impromptu, but it was something that Pastor Lecrae said that I want to. Pastor Lecrae, Bishop Lecrae said, and he said this. I saw this today when Tim Ross was he was speaking on being faithful, but this is from Lecrae. This is not me. I want to say this. Lecrae said, "It is more difficult to the flesh to be faithful, way more difficult on the soul to hold around." And that's exactly what we've been saying.
Wait, let me see.
Way more difficult. Go to Instagram.
He said it's difficult to, what you reading? Right, it is more difficult to the flesh to be faithful. Way more difficult on the soul to hold around.
And this is, and so it was just off of this clip where Tim Ross was talking about, man, listen, I could be, that's so deep. I could have women right now if I want to. Yeah. I could, man, listen, I could be doing whatever. Married? Who, Tim Ross is, yeah. But what he's saying is, like, we're not coming from this like we're on this pedestal, like we never had a desire or the wrong thought come through our head.
Yeah, that's why I try to make that clear on here. Like, we are not robots. Even when I talk to my friends, I'm like, y'all do know we are still humans, real right? People. Like, y'all do know we still have a nasty past, and we were doing stupid stuff too. Yeah. Like, y'all do know that, right? Y'all now yes, the Lord is good, and I think it's actually a compliment that people don't see that the residue on us. But I just want to make that clear, like. Yeah, we see, we remember. There's still memories. There's still a flesh that wants to arise and make us do foolish things.
Yeah, but we kill that flesh.
Yes.
We kill that flesh
with boundaries.
Like you said, with boundaries, man.
Community.
You have to do
that. Self-awareness,
man. Protect, and we gonna hear her say, like she said, we gonna say the same. The gates, we gotta protect them.
Yeah.
Because the reason why a lot of people are doing these things is because, babe, we wake up and we read the word and we listen to sermons and we listen to worship music.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, the people that are mainly in the world that are not believers are waking up and they're putting on their stereo and they're driving every morning to Cardi B, say, throw that thing back. I don't care. Go after him after he done cheated on you. Yeah. All of that. You don't understand that this stuff is getting to your psyche, is getting into your ears, and then it's getting in your heart. And then those actions follow. Do you understand? Like, and that is the biggest thing right there, is that those gates are not protected. People hear this and they're not tuned into what we're tuned into.
Yeah.
That's why I say, man, hey, turn off the radio.
Yeah.
Listen, fast from it.
Yeah.
Put yourself on a worship playlist. You can find that right in our description right here below. Go on that worship playlist. Force yourself. I had to force myself the first time.
Shoot, sometimes I still have to force myself. Like, when I want to listen to R&B, I'm like, all right, you've been listening to R&B for like 3 days straight in a row. Let's slide in this worship. That's still, I still haven't arrived to a place where I'm just like in the heavens, sermons, worship only, like, and because I'm a fun girl still.
Yeah,
so I like to have fun.
When we ride and we listen to some R&B together and all those things. But I'm telling somebody from the first time, I'm telling you, do the hard work now so it's easier later.
Yeah.
A reason why I was able, when I was prepared, somebody, they may see you and be like, yeah, you talking about that, don't sleep around, don't do all that, but look at your wife. Like, I ain't doing too bad. Okay, first off, you don't know my scars. Again, I've been telling you what my scars is. It may look pretty, but we done been through some very difficult things. But also, you don't know the work that I did before this.
Yeah.
Like, so,
and I just want to, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you, because I also want to point out, because we talk about our scars a lot. Life has been beautiful.
Yes.
God has been gracious towards us, right? But that comes from, because I think sometimes we drive that point home so hard because we're trying to make sure they don't do what we did.
We trying to scare y'all in the righteous.
We try to scare y'all. No, marriage is mom.
Right.
Like our friendship, our relationship, our children, like we're blessed. Like beautiful home, beautiful things that we have that is just like, God. Wow, praise the Lord, we've done this. But I just also want to say, but that took hard work. Yes. You know, that took dedication in our individual relationships with Christ. So I just want to put that out there because y'all know Namdi be going hard. Like, it's been hard, it's been rough, it's been sad. And I do it too. I do it too. I do know the intention behind that is to let y'all know, like, oh no, this is real. And some people will not survive what we did. Yeah. Some people have not survived what we did. So what we went through. So we do be trying to scare y'all, but it's real life at the same time. Yeah. But God has been good, but our faith matched our works.
Come on.
And so it's so good that you're diving into this, because I was actually going to ask you to encourage them and tell them some key factors of like, okay, what can I do to kill this flesh? Yeah. Okay, what can I'm a hoe. I'm out here bad. I like getting boom. Like, what can I do? And you already answered it really by just surrounding yourself. And I just want to throw this in there. Like, be self-aware. If you know you a hoe, if you know you out here bad, like, don't put yourself in situations. Like, you know, like, we got to get in a place where it's like, oh, no, I know I'm out. I know I want to be outside, so I'm not going to be outside this summer.
You need to sell yourself the nightmare. Okay, what I started to do, I would sell myself the nightmare. I'm like, okay, what if this time that I do this, I end up with a STD I can't get rid of?
AIDS.
Like, thank God for his grace I haven't gotten that.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm like, good. All right, let's stop this now. Sell yourself the nightmare. What does it look like when I don't do these things? What will it look like when I continue to do this? What could actually happen, and can I actually live with that?
Yeah.
I couldn't live with some of those things.
Yeah.
Maybe you can. I couldn't live with HIV. That just wasn't the thing I was. And I'm not saying anybody that has that is not over or anything like that. But what I'm saying is I knew I could not live with that. So I said, I'm not about that life no more.
Yeah.
I ran to the church house. I found a great one. I stayed there. I got the word. I, got saved and everything and so on and so forth. And I did that work from there because I just saw some of the consequences that were happening around me, and it was enough for me. Okay. I came close enough to the fire a couple times that was like, you know what?
Dang, I wish
I got out of here with 2 kids. Let me tell you, that's okay based off of how I was. So I was like, let me get on up out of here right now and get done with this. So I know we kind of went on a tangent and went on a rant. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but we kind of went on this.
No, I'm going to end it with Bishop Lecrae's quote.
Say that one more time.
He said, "It is more difficult to the flesh to be faithful." I think I want to reword it. It is difficult to the flesh to be faithful. Yeah. Yes, it is. But it is way more difficult on the soul to hoe around. Bars. Yeah. Like, yes, y'all. Yeah. Like, and a lot of times you don't see it until you went through your whole phase. Sometimes people's whole phases be lasting like 2 decades too. Yeah. Then you sitting there, you got to deal with undoing all the things. So we went on the tangent, but
that's our tangent there, man.
That's your fault.
That definitely is my fault, man. Furthermore, so on to the next. Chris Rock recently responded to Will Smith's slap. Finally, okay? As y'all know, last year at the Oscars, Chris Rock got slapped on stage after a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. Will Smith said, keep your wife's name out your mouth. Went up there, he slapped him. It was all over everywhere. Chris Rock had been mute until just now with his Netflix comedy special. Check out this clip right here.
Everybody knows. Everybody fucking knows. Yes. It happened. I got smacked like a year ago. And a lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night? Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. It's like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's dick. How did that make you feel? Why the f*** would you do that? She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? Okay? Everybody. Everybody. And who's he hit? Me. A he know he could beat. That is some bitch ass shit. Okay? I got parents. And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people.
Well, Chris Rock dropped the mic on that one. Listen, I'm not mad at it. He took off the gloves and he threw his punches, and it was a smart one too. A lot of people fire back at somebody and don't think. He said, "No, you know what? I got slapped. I'm gonna let everybody talk about how embarrassing it was, how they would have did this, they would have did that." He said, "I'm gonna wait until somebody write a big fat check." If I'm not mistaken, reportedly he's making about 40 to 50 million off of this stand-up special. I knew it was probably HBO is probably there, Showtime. Everybody like, man, listen, if you come with your next comedy special where you talk about that, I'll give you this much. I'll give you this. Listen, they pulled out the bag. That's the way you make the play.
Million? How much you think he gets out of that?
How much you get out of it? What you mean?
That's his?
I mean, obviously taxes and all that, but yeah.
Like
that's it. I mean, obviously you got to pay your team, and but I mean, majority of that money is his money.
Good.
And don't mind you, he already got movies. He's already been on so many different ends of the game for so long.
Oh, that's a wise man.
That's a very wise man. He said, forget all of that, because most of us
I ain't going on
would have been for like, I'm pulling up at his house tonight. Feel like we got to show the world that we tough. He said, I'm not. He didn't say nothing at none of his specials. He said nothing about it at all until just now. He said, I'm gonna cash in on that smack. I'm gonna cash in on it really big. He was really smart for that. Man, kudos to him for doing that. I believe that Will deserves every word of what he gave him there. I know Will Smith has apologized since, said how he feels terrible and all of that. But forget all that. You embarrassed me in front of the whole world. Don't get it wrong. I forgive him, but I really don't got much else to say to him or anything from there. And it all came down to you took your pain out about your wife, really on me. And the whole world talking about your wife. Like he said, she pulled out the mic to you. How did you feel about me? And just talking about this man so passionate. I mean, you want to look at our old reaction to when he first smacked him, just how she was talking about August and the way she talked of him. And this was like her son's friend or something. Like it was terrible. So I believe that he got all the get back that he needed to get when it comes to this situation in the writing of a big check. This reminds me of, sometimes with beef, people like to go back and forth. But I love, one of my favorite artists straight up is Drake. Is what it is. All right. I like Drake. And also Nicki Minaj. The two ways that I'm not talking about, that's one of my favorites, but Nicki Minaj.
I'm talking about how she handled beef.
Yeah, but think about it. She didn't wanted. I know you're Remy Ma. I remember when Remy Ma came at Nicki Minaj. She didn't respond back right away. Yeah. I don't believe she did. I think she waited to respond back. Every time she did a feature, she dropped another bar on her. Yeah. Whenever then she make a song that she's going to get paid off of. Yeah. I believe what Remy did, she did like over Ether beat, which is Nas's beat. Nas, so she couldn't put that out to make no money. Yeah. You understand? So you just getting it pure off the name. Okay, cool. I'm gonna let that sit there. Let you get your 30 seconds of fame. Yeah. Who's the biggest artist right now? Who's the bigger artist right now? Yeah. Her or Remy. Yeah. She said, no, I'm not gonna make you famous. I'm gonna get paid off of dropping a few bars, and she still didn't even say her name. Right. Facts. We just knew who those bars are for. Yeah. Turns on to Drake. Drake, whenever he gets into it with somebody, he's coming back on a record. Yep. And it's over for you. He only lost once.
His ghostwriter gone beast.
I don't know if it's all ghost, babe. I think Drake got some, no, for real, but these people got some bars.
You know what I've learned?
He don't do it 100%.
You know what I've learned being in the game just a little bit?
What's that, babe?
Baby, these people be having writers.
They be scared of them, don't they? No.
They be having writers. Like, and it's no shade. Like, we talked about it. I was like, shoot, if I get a team of fire writers at this, and I was totally against that. Yeah. Huh?
No, after a while, you need some help.
Yeah, your brain, you can't just be that much of a genius after a while. Like, somebody gonna give you a bar or two. Yeah. Drake did not write all them, baby.
I know he didn't, but he still put in on a good amount of them. I mean, I think The Weeknd. I mean, I remember. I think The Weeknd helped out with a lot of Take Care, which is probably my favorite Drake album altogether.
The best.
Yeah, the best album altogether, and it was just cold. You understand? Like, so what I'm saying is like, if you gonna beef, especially as an entertainer, man, get a check off of that bad boy. I think I'm just blown away more of the check, baby. I'm so sorry.
The check is crazy.
The check was crazy.
The bag is wild.
The bag, like 40, 50 million. Like,
too.
Man,
I would have been humiliated
somebody
too.
Smacked me too on stage. And then
would you get smacked for 40 million?
The problem is, y'all pray for my vision. I wouldn't be able to see that far. I would have seen him smack me, and then I would have reacted right away. We would have been in a fight on stage.
Well, he probably didn't know that bag was coming in either.
No, he didn't. But most people, no matter how tall or something, I'm gonna try to tackle him. At least.
No, out of the strength of just like not being embarrassed, I'm gonna fight back.
I'm gonna try to fight back in some form. Fight back. So I couldn't have never got to that because I would have tried to at least fight back at that time. Well, no, he said, I'm going to wait, and I got these jokes on deck. Right. I'm going to polish them up, and I'm going to get them ready. Who got the check? And probably had HBO, Cinemax, everybody just calling him, and then eventually he went on with the bag for Netflix. So hey, kudos to him. You got anything on that, baby?
I mean, not really. I just think the overall situation goes back to how sad I am for Will and Jada. Like, y'all should have been beating each other up. That had nothing to do. I mean, no, because that's domestic violence. Don't not like that. But I'm saying like all that energy should have just been toward each other. And this is what happens when you dive into foolishness. And you decide to step out, like you said, when Jada was talking about how speaking passionately about her affair with August, like it's just a really sad situation. And but in the beginning when you're talking, I was like, oh, poor Will. Like it is pretty sad. I do feel sorry for him because he was pretty darn humiliated. Just how her energy was very unapologetic as well. Like she was like, I had the best time of my life. Like, have you ever talked to someone that was in sin and they were getting it in? Like, it was just like a thing over them. Like it don't matter what you tell them. They like, I'm gonna go back.
You literally know you was talking to your husband about this, right?
Like that's your man that you're telling him about. So I don't know. Just overall, I just think that's the sad part. But shout out to Chris Rock for the bag.
Getting the bag on it, man.
Shout out.
I mean, shout out to him, man. So hey, what do y'all think about this whole Chris Rock situation, man? It's what y'all think that the jokes? I kind of felt at the end. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like the joke at the end was corny. My mama told me not to fight in front of white people.
Baby, don't nobody too much care about Chris Rock jokes.
Like that was kind of whack. What you just catering to them for? Like
I saw somebody the other day said, "So y'all really out here thinking Chris Rock is funny? He's not funny to me, babe."
Okay, I don't want to age myself, but at least when I was young and I probably shouldn't have been watching Chris Rock specials and stuff like that, I remember one on like MTV or something, and it was really good. So he's never been Bigger and Blacker or something like that. And it was pretty dope. So
I always thought he was the white people's comedian. He wasn't ours.
He's that multicultural.
Yeah, what's that other comedian dude that's like their comedian? He bald-headed?
Bald-headed.
I think.
I can't think of it. Yeah. Either way, all right, man. Hey, listen, tell us what y'all think about that response from Chris Rock going to Will Smith. Y'all let us know down in the comments below.
Yes, so moving on, y'all. It is a big deal right now. If y'all know the lingo, y'all know the lingo. We outside. City girls, we outside. That's a big deal happening right now. But for those of y'all that might be 90s age and above.
Hey, why you make me sound old? Hold on. First off, I'm still in my 30s, y'all. Okay?
Baby, oh my gosh, you're about to be 40.
No, I'm not. There's still some years to go. We still got some years to go.
Wow.
Keep it going.
I can't wait. That's going to be so sexy. But, yeah, the city girls are running. I think they about to run the summer, to be honest. Like, I think it's a big deal. So the question is, should a man wife a city girl? And so I guess I got to explain what a city girl is, right?
Please.
Okay, let me explain what a city girl is. So in my opinion, this is not a Webster Dictionary description. So y'all don't beat me up in the comments like, well, technically, that's not that. My opinion, y'all, my opinion. A city girl is a girl that is outside. What does outside mean? Well, she's at your bar. She's at the nightclub. She's at the hookah lounges. She's getting her drink. She's getting drunk. She's dating the basketball players, the football players. She running through, and she might be ran through. She's even with the City Girls, or I don't know who wrote that song, but get that head, get that bread and leave. I forgot it now. Like it's a whole movement. Like, girl, we are the new men. Like, we making the money. You give us some head and we keep moving. Like, we not the women that want to get married and trying to settle down. No, we are outside. So that is what I consider a city girl. And a lot of times after they have been ran through, or they go through their whole phase or their city girl phase, they want to get married. So do you suggest a man to wife a city girl?
I would say if he can handle it. If he can handle what wife and a city girl looks like. Now, I don't suggest a man wife a current city girl. Okay? I would
she could
suggest,
be a former.
Yeah, she could be a former. Now she's saved. Okay, she's in love with Jesus. Now she's made new in Christ. City girl, okay? So all those things are now past. So behold, she's a new creation. And so now a lot of those things are off of her. But here's the thing. The reason why I say if he can handle that is because he's still going to have to deal with the residue.
Facts.
Okay? So this girl, if she was a city girl and she was obviously on the out here side of it, as far as dealing with multiple men and all those things, now she has a lot of different penises in her brain.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm sorry, got to keep it real. She's had a lot of men that she has soul ties with and all of that. And so now you have to deal with that. And you have to also deal with possibly if the city girl was a city girl in your city that you living in, who y'all gonna run into? Who?
My God.
Oh, hey, you run into him and he like, hey, what's going on with you, Shantae? Oh, hey, how
Not
you doing?
Shantae.
And I'm just saying, I'm sorry for all the Shantaes, but hey, what's going on with you? Hey, how you doing? And then the man kind of feel that vibe and he like,
Who's this?
hey, babe, who's that back at the, oh, he's just an old friend. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So like, if he can handle a city girl
No,
now,
that's a big point.
Yeah.
Because you do got to handle that. Like,
you got to be able to handle
yeah,
that.
you got to be able to handle like being in a room with dudes that might have had your woman upside down, turn around.
And if you're a man that
Down
can
for
deal
man.
with that,
Yeah.
then cool. Me, I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah,
So
I knew, you told me that immediately.
city girl down for me. Nope. I don't none of that. I don't barely know. I'm gonna go through your. I call it your whole facts. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to go through your whole facts. I need to figure out who
How
you
many?
done deal with. Okay. Yeah, I see you. You know, it's just like a report. Okay, so you dealt with. Okay, this guy. Ooh. If I might have known him.
Is that frat?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, listen. Hey, I mean, that kind of goes into our other thing, whatever, but I'll get to that. But let me tell you,
yeah.
I need to know. I need to know. And so if you can't deal with the city girl's old ways and the baggage that she came with, then no matter how fine she is, no matter how big that booty is, how big them breasts is, whatever the case, and I'm talking about even if she's saved now. No, because here's a key fact. Don't marry someone if you can't handle the baggage that they come with. That's why we say, hey man, slow down. The brakes.
Yeah.
Figure like the brakes on the sex. Figure out who it is you dealing with before you end up getting married, man. Y'all really want to slow down on this so you can stop being clouded. You can see, oh wow, okay. You can really see how you really actually feel about that they slept with this guy, and you knew this guy or whatever. When you get in that thing, you might run it over like, I ain't really tripping on it.
Ain't that bad.
But then later on, you start to think about it, or you really start to think, dang, she messed with over, I don't know, crazy my number, 50-something odd dudes or something. Like, okay, what that look like when we go places? Lord, you could really start to have a conscious mind about that, man. Slow down on the bed so you could use your head straight up. Like, you got to be able to do that so you can know what you're dealing with. So no on the city girl if you can't handle the city girl, because you don't need to get in a relationship you don't need to get into a marriage with the city girl, okay, or even a relationship with the city girl if you can't handle what she came with, and you're going to try to make her feel bad about who she used to be too. If you're going to use that against her. Oh yeah, you was there. I remember, so you don't like that, whatever.
I bet you would have did this for
you would have did that for so-and-so back in the day, whatever. Like, you going to treat her all extra bad about that, then leave her exactly where she's at. She'll be good. But I believe there's somebody there's always somebody for everybody.
Right.
Okay. And so somebody can actually handle that. Maybe he was a city boy and he was doing his city boy thing.
Because that's a real thing.
And
too.
he really has a numbness. I'm talking about a numbness to that this woman was out there really, really bad. And so that's the only way I would say that, baby. What you think?
About wife and a city girl? I love that you didn't bash that. I love that you didn't go that route because I feel like that's what most people are doing, like is bashing a woman and her lifestyle prior to finding Christ or whatever, coming upon her epiphany of who she is. But I love that you brought it to like, can you handle it though? And so when we talk about certain things, we're not if you've done what we talk about, if you've experienced some things that we're like, no, don't do that, and you've done it, we're not talking about you, but we're also encouraging people like, hey, you can't make people be able to handle that. Man. Like, you can't force people to accept that you were out here bad. Yeah. Now, there's somebody that might will. Is something wrong?
No, you good.
Oh, it's gonna be somebody out here that will love you for if you were a lesbian, you did orgies, you did porn, actresses, you would whatever. It's somebody that will be like, no, I love her and I see the Jesus in her. But you also can't get mad at men that are like, I'm cool. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good on that, and I talk about this a lot. Actually, on my own, tapping with TK.
Tapping with TK. Y'all tapping in?
Yeah, and just my Instagram in general, like, women be upset at me when I talk about these type of things. Like, y'all gotta also know in the broad spectrum of things, the more you are out here, the more you experience. For the typical man, y'all, this is about to be a bold statement. I am not saying this is a every single person's opinion. Let me just put that out there. This is not judgment. This is a general perspective that most general. Just look up the definition of general. The more that you've experienced sexually as a woman, they're gonna be so mad. The more that you experience, you've had threesomes, you've had orgies, you've been in porn, you've been a what's the new thing called? Oh my gosh, the girls are doing it. It's not porn anymore. Oh my gosh, Jesus, bring it. Fan base.
No, I ain't fan base. That's
a
good social media.
Oh my gosh,
it's called OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Yeah. You're on OnlyFans. You got 70 to 100 to 150 bodies. Like y'all, you gotta know that generally. In a man's mind, it goes do 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 do. Yeah. And his respect for you, he's like, "What am I gonna do? You done had
stock lowers."
Yeah, it does, unfortunately. So I just want to also say, because I think it might be better for me to say it than you to say it, but like that's what he said in a roundabout way. Yeah. But for most men, if they got that pride where I don't want to be in an environment where I might run into Dominique and Damien and Derek and Joshua, like Michael and gosh, like they don't want to. And not even just bodies and men, but also like just experiences. You've been to London, you've been to Cabo, you've been to Mexico, men been flying you out left and right. Now what your husband gonna do for you, girl? You done experienced life to the fullest. So I think I saw something, and in my comments, actually, a dude talking about like it was actually a female, actually. And she was like, I don't want to get with somebody that has experienced everything. Like everything is the first for me. That's a lot of times why women don't want to date, or men, vice versa, don't want to date someone that has kids and they haven't. Because you done felt the first love of the first seeing the child. You know what I'm saying? And so again, you can't get mad at people's desires. Again, there's somebody that will accept that. And like I just piggyback off of what you said, like, yeah, you can wife a city girl. Just make sure you got the confidence. Make sure she don't, but also know that residue city girl can kind of happen still. Yep. The residue of one of you. You might, how they say you can't make a hoe a housewife type of thing. Like it might take some time for her to get in the mindset of like, oh, I gotta settle down. Yeah, well, I can't go outside like that no more. I can't go to the parties with my girls no more. So I don't know. I think you can wife a city girl for sure. You just gotta be one heck of a confident man.
Yeah, and again, you're
well, not confident, because I don't want to say you're not confident if you don't accept it. you got to be just a man that is okay with it.
Yeah, your non-negotiables. Okay, we've talked about this before. Your non-negotiables should say who you should be with and who you should not, and don't go against your non-negotiables. Never settle against your non-negotiables because you will only regret it all the time. And so, if you know your non-negotiable, she couldn't have been this certain type of girl, then don't deal with her.
Yeah.
But if you know that does not matter to you, and it truly doesn't, then that's okay to go with it. But believe that and be true in your heart. I'm saying this mainly to the men, okay? And it's also to the women too, because a lot of times people just give a pass, but no, because then if let's say y'all get married, and again, you got to deal with who they used to be. Still will be there. I had to be okay with my wife was no city girl at all, but when you was, that you had
not
relations.
Not even a little bit.
Right. But that you had relations with women and all of that type of stuff. I had to be.
I'm sorry, say it again because I was talking while you were.
No, okay. No, I had to, it's just saying that I had to be okay with the fact that you had dealt with women and all that type of stuff. Like, in that it wasn't going to be something I dealt with. To this day, it's nothing that I ever cared about. Like, it's nothing that, I know how brand new you are. I know that it's not even something that you're like triggered by or anything like being around other women. Or
I remember you were kind of
funny stuff.
You were kind of like that, like in the beginning of our marriage, like when we would watch a movie and it would be like women in their bikinis. You'd be like, "Babe, are you good?" I'm like,
"Yeah, I got to make sure. Sure my wife's safe in these streets."
I don't care. I don't give a darn about a woman.
Yeah, I had to make sure
at all. Like, I'm not triggered about that at all. But you literally brought up the point that I was gonna say. Just also make sure like there's evidence that they have changed. Yeah. Because you don't want to get with a previous city girl, a previous city boy, a previous out here bad person, and they still have not the residue, but they still have ways. Like, so why are you there still? Like, why are you still doing? I think it's some questions that got to come along. Like, okay, how long have you been without penis?
Yeah.
How long have you been without vagina?
Yeah.
How long have you how long have you been out of the club? Yeah. Okay, it's only been a year. Ugh. Yeah. I was like, let's wait a little bit. Like, we could talk a little bit, but just make sure there is because our past aren't perfect at all. But I think one thing the reason why I can speak of these things with conviction is because it's so far behind. Like it's so, like we were just talking about porn today. I don't know what we were saying, but I was like, dang, I just sat there and I was like, it's been a very long time since I've watched porn. Like, it was before you. So if not almost a decade. And so just make sure when you are getting in these situations with people that might have a rough past or a rough whatever, there's hope. Yes, there is. We're somebody we're not perfect. We have past, we have bad decisions that whatever, but just make sure there is evidence of them not being that person anymore. Yeah. There's a continual, like you see, oh no, they're working. They don't got little weird glimpse of them kind of being in weird environments.
They really want to be there.
Yeah. So that's all.
Like they missing their life or something.
Yeah, right. Like, dang, I really want to go out with my friends.
Yeah. Just make sure of it.
I really want to go to the club still. Like, dang, babe, I kind of miss that. So just, that's it.
I would say, hey, so what do y'all think? Should you wife a city girl? Should you, ladies, should you wife a city boy? Okay.
I'm sorry we didn't talk about them because they are a thing.
Hey, let me tell you, losers out here too. But either way, we want to know what you think. Drop it in the comments down there below. We wanted to come out with another hot topic question here.
I feel like it's been a while since we've done a hot topic question.
Yeah, no, I think we might have did it last time. Might have. Yeah. Well, so kind of piggybacking off of that, I'm gonna ask you this, babe.
Okay.
So, does body count matter? And also, what should be a deal breaker when it comes to that?
Yeah, it's kind of, isn't it quite unique that he's asking a woman? Because I feel like society has set up this idea that men are gonna have bodies on bodies on bodies, bodies on bodies on bodies, right? Yeah. And they kind of expect that. Like, if we're at a place in this culture where women are expecting their man to cheat, women are, they just like, all men cheat. All men, got a bunch of bodies. All men do just all men are trash. For me, Personally, I have always cared about that. I have always cared about how many partners someone has had, because I feel like your emotional capacity for me lessens the more bodies you have. To me, my opinion. That's it, y'all. Opinion. Opinion. This is TK's thoughts. I'm not saying this is how you should think. I'm not saying this is what they said to think. Nothing. It's just me. I think someone's emotional capacity for me, it lessens. Because I'm gonna show y'all what my mind does, and this is probably why they think we crazy, babe. Y'all think women are crazy. Okay, when I hear 50 women, right? I hear a minimum of 50 times with each 50 person. What's that? 500. Then I multiply that because I think you lying in the first place. So it's probably 75 women. And I just keep multiplying. And then I'm like, where was it done? Y'all probably did it everywhere. The car, the park, the basement, in school. That's what my mind does. And it just, after a while, disgusts me and I'm turned off and I actually don't want you. But I've always been like that. Like I tell you this before, like I never was attracted to like the it guy, or like, cause I know that it guy came with a bunch of bodies. Like I'm cool. I don't want that. But back to the I believe the depth of it for me was the emotional capacity, because I believe, and I'll be transparent with us. Like when I first got with Nnamdi, you were fresh out of an engagement, but like 3, 4, 5 months when we first started dating.
About 3-4 months or so.
Yeah, 3-4 months. Nnamdi was not completely emotionally there for me. There was still some emo, and as you would expect, he was with his ex for, almost 8 years on and off, and so I knew that, I felt it. I'm like, it's the emotional capacity is not there. So I'm not only saying that because I it's in my brain, but I've experienced it a couple of times. So for me, it's more so of. And then the emotional capacity being small is, in my mind, soul ties. So because we actually didn't even learn. I mean, well, me, I didn't even really. We went to a marriage boot camp, and they had a portion in the boot camp where they encouraged us to repent for soul ties. I mean, or break the soul ties. And we went through they
went through an exercise. It was dope. They had like some yarn, and they stretched it across the whole crowd. Yeah. And we threw it from one area to the other, and it got all the way back up to the stage, and they basically were just trying to show you, like,
you got to go through all of these people to get back to this.
To this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a dope illustration.
And it backs my point. I got to go through all those women just to get back. Like we got, and so they had to cut off all of those women. So I think it's more than a number. It is how I think of your soul being full. Where's there room for me if you've had so many bodies? And not saying that you can be free, you can cut them, and the Lord can deliver you, and life goes on. But like at the same time, it kind of is what it is. Like you have the experience that you have, and so again, I think it. What was the second part of the question? The first,
is it a deal breaker
to have a lot?
Yeah, I guess is a body count like a certain? I
guess
is a deal breaker.
Yeah. So yes. So yes, body count. It matters to me because I knew my number, and then and I didn't even start realizing until I got older. Like, oh my, people out here. Like people are out here. And I remember telling them, I'm like, I think the new norm is like 60, 75 bodies for people my age. Yeah. And so I can only imagine what your age is doing right now. Like we probably in the 200s. And so not even trying to just be funny, y'all, and be judgmental. Again, I think about a crowded soul. Literally.
Just barely can get to the
you can't get to me. Like how can this be good if you've experienced every type of vagina, every type of mouth, every type of cuddle? Like I think about that. And so yes, a high number is a deal breaker for me. For sure. And honestly, mainly not even just the to me, y'all, me. Not even just the nasty part of it, because I think about just how many times you've been in something else. But honestly, the fact that emotionally you are not available until you've cut off those soul ties.
Yeah, you really like simply at the marriage boot camp, they did a exercise and they had like a prayer or something that you can do, just repenting of this person that you've been with. You don't understand that it says, like the Bible talks about the two becoming one flesh.
Yeah, every
like
time.
You're basically marrying each other in the spirit. I remember one of my old mentors' wives just like telling me, like I said something about, she said she accidentally called one of my kids' moms my wife. She said, your wife, your ex-wife or something. I'm like, I wasn't never married to her. She said, Negro, you married her in the spirit? I was like, dang, she kind of right.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of did. So,
it ain't
like,
kinda.
no, it kind of, I did.
Yeah.
You understand?
For
And so
sure.
these things have to be spiritually, like, broken off.
Yeah.
And this stuff doesn't come easy at all. So
and I just want to make that, I want to drive that point home about cutting soul ties, like spiritually cutting that. Again, that was my first time like saying, oh, I've never spiritually cut a soul tie. Yeah. I've never like sat there and was like, God, I cut that. I end that. God, any seed. I've repented. Yeah. No, I've definitely repented. Like, oh Lord, I know that was wrong. Like, I know I wasn't supposed to be sleeping with him. I know I wasn't supposed to do that with her. I know that. God, I repent. I'm sorry. I've done that. But like actually talking to that soul tie, like you will not continuously confuse me. You will not, because it's just so like you end up just having so much residue from those people. Yeah. Like I remember just dealing with certain issues of like anger, of sadness, of depression. I'm like, this ain't even me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll come out of something and be like, you're not a depressed person. What? Oh, your ex was sad. And now you finding yourself sad and moving a certain way. And so I think that's also why people like that are married start looking like.
That's what I was just about to say that, babe. Like we literally
my
used
to
say that
Tara
too.
and Gerald look like brother and sister.
They're starting to look like I guess we probably start looking like each other in certain things because now we've been together so many times intimately in so many ways and all that. Mm-hmm. Like we have certain things that rub off.
Oh my gosh! Each other. Yes.
Like it's certain things
this
that
man
you
be doing. Yes.
That I'm like it comes off of me. It comes from me, and then the same thing from me. From her to me.
Yeah.
And like I'm like even like dang okay. I wouldn't have been like that if it wasn't for me dealing with my wife.
But that's actually the beauty of it.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty when it's done right.
The flip side is when it's done right. When you have a soul tie with your spouse. Yeah. When you have, is it called that? That's a healthy, right?
That's the healthy soul tie.
Okay, so the healthy soul tie of you're right.
Yeah.
Having it with your spouse is that. So we're both continuously striving to be more like Christ. That's what we're doing in our walk. So if I rub off on Namdi, I pray and hope most time it's something that's good, a part of my, like there's things that I would not be if I was not in obviously married to you, but a soul tie. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like there's benefits of having a soul tie when you're married. Yes, but when you out here bad and you have a soul tie with this dude.
She almost said it. She stopped though. That's good. I've been teaching her not to say that no more.
He has.
We will not oppress ourselves, my people.
Y'all,
I see the hat.
Yes, y'all. I pray for me because I
substituted that word with Negro.
Yeah,
I found that from
Yeah, you started saying it.
I did that way before.
No, you started. You'll say it every once in a while, and I think it's because of me.
Probably so. Yeah, because I get too mad. Then
I'll be like, these niggas out here. It's not good, y'all. I'm really working on that. I don't. You're doing great, I'm trying, but yeah, instead of like having a soul tie from this dude and he had anger problems and this dude was halfway bipolar and this dude got, what, he was perverted or what, you be wondering why you're dealing with stuff and it's like, because it's like 40 people on the inside of your brain. It's 40 people on the inside of your spirit and your soul. And so the beauty of having a soul tie like this, and I'm gonna let you go because I'm going too long because I'll keep going. That's the beauty. Like I'm like, that's why I want to drive this home. Like this is the beauty when you do it right. Yeah. Because Namdi does. I've been like, even me talking like I'm talking like him. I'm walking integrity that he's showing me.
Sauce,
I'm
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, the sauce.
No, go ahead.
Me snatching the souls. That's what happens.
Yeah, me snatching
that's
yours.
what happens. When you snatching each other's souls, you're intertwining but you do end up benefiting. And then if
in a great way in the union.
If your spouse ain't healthy, you also gonna get that too. But
you're gonna also get that. It's crazy. It made me think of, babe. One time we were looking at. I somehow ran into a picture of an ex of mine, and what I bring this to is that your body count shows on you. Just like smoking eventually shows on you. Negroes that have been smoking weed forever, they feel like they look the same. No, Negro, I should pull up a picture of you before you start smoking weed, and now what you look like. It's having an effect on you. They'll tell you all day it's the healthiest thing and all that. It's like, no, it's not. Look at you. You used to look like this. Look at you now. You didn't smoke before, cigarettes or whatever it is, but now look at your face. You don't see the effects of it. A lot of times it's the same way with sex. You don't see the effects of it till years and so many bodies and bodies later. We ran into a picture of one of my exes. It just happened to be, I think my mom or something still had the pictures, and we cleaning out her stuff. And you was like, dang, she actually did look good. Like,
crazy.
It was like she actually did look good. Okay, she said, I was wondering
that
like, why
transformation was high key.
You was demonic. Like, I was wondering why you was even like you ever dealt with her. I was like,
literally,
why would he deal with somebody that don't look good?
I was so confused when I saw.
And I didn't
want
to feel like I didn't. I wasn't trying to brag. Like I wasn't, I wouldn't feel like I'm trying to defend a ex or something.
Like, no, she was.
But I'm like, listen, I would look at some. Have y'all ever ran into some of y'all exes and saw them? And when they didn't got so many bodies deep, man, you'd be like, dang, what happened to the girl that I was talking to in high school that was, well, she was only 1 or 2 bodies in at that time.
Yeah.
Now she 30, 40, 50, 60 bodies in. Face started changing. Her spirit started changing. She still got Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, like New Edition said. Like, she got them all intertangled in her. And so she has a mixture of these dudes, and now she don't even look. So I was like, we could pull up the pictures if we was able to show this person.
Like her, like she should be her mama or grandma.
Yeah.
I was so confused when I saw your ex.
Yeah.
I was like, you elevated. Because everybody keeps telling like, Namdi did good. I'm like, what? Yeah. Compared to that, But then I saw the picture, and it's so crazy because
it's a difference.
People talk about like, smoking is for me. I can't even think about when I was smoking. And I remember my mom saying something. Oh, no. I remember my ex-sister was like, what'd she say? Remember I told you the story? My ex-sister said something about my appearance.
Oh, how good?
Oh, no, my lips were black. Okay. She was like, Takesha, your lips are getting black. Mm-hmm. Y'all, I promise on everything, that day I went downstairs in that restroom, and that was the first time I saw that my lips were getting black.
You didn't even notice it.
I didn't even notice it. Waking up, putting on clothes, still thinking I was the finest thing. And even when I look back at how skinny I was like, I was dusty. Like, I looked so bad. Like, I smoked the freak out. And a lot of times while you're doing that, you think you psyching people out. Baby, you used to be thick, round, beautiful skin. Your jaws are sinking in.
But you're in a sunken place now, so you don't even know it. You're in a sunken
place. But like physically, you look bad. Yes. Like, that's just the real deal. And that's coming from someone. I can look at my old, and I remember going on Facebook like, oh, delete. Like, why nobody told me my lips was the color of my iPad case?
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you about Jesus, though.
Come on.
Because a lot of times when I tell people that I used to do any of this, they're like, what?
Really?
Where? When? The way that I glue up from my body, like, the Lord didn't bless me with a body until I gave everything up. The Lord didn't bless me with good skin until I gave all those things up. But I mean, just scientifically and naturally, like, you stop smoking. And first of all, when it comes to weed, people want to say that's from the earth. Yes, it is. And it can be used for medicinal purposes, but we're never supposed to smoke it. That's something that you were supposed to put in a tea. I just want to put that out there for someone. If y'all actually research herbs, and we're not talking about the THC of getting high, you're not supposed to roll it up and smoke it. Let me just put that out there. But yes, it's crazy how obviously drinking and smoking, you can see that. but you can see bodies too. Like you can see when a woman has been ran through.
Hey, this is a mirror check for somebody right now. Listen, as you're hearing this and as you're looking at us right now, if you're a smoker, okay, if you're a smoker of any form, you might want to do a mirror check, or you might want to ask somebody who will tell you the truth that's not a smoker. Hey, cuz,
do I look different?
Do I look a little bit different than what I used to before I started smoking? They're probably gonna say, Negro, yes. Duh. You definitely do. Let me show you something real quickly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or something, or, you know, and the same thing comes for right now as far as your body count. You don't know.
Yeah.
But way back, if you look at your picture, when you got with the first dude to where you didn't got with the last dude you just got through sleeping with, and the same thing for men, you probably look a lot different. But like she said, the blood of Jesus Christ can wash that away. Listen, you may not look like it overnight, okay? You may not look like that, but if you really go through the process of sanctification and discipleship, like you really let the word just wash all that away, and you start living the Christ life. Okay, giving up the weed. Okay, yes. Can I smoke it and not go there? Yeah, you can do that. Okay, but it really is usually an idol. Okay, instead of running to Jesus, you're running to the blunt. Okay, so that's really what happens. And you can say you don't, but we know the real facts about it.
First of all, if you gotta get high to just wake up and go to work, that's mind blowing to me that y'all don't think that is like literally.
I knew somebody like that. That's crazy.
So y'all really wake and bake.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's wild to me. Like that's a dependency, and the fact that y'all be like, no, I just like it. I can give it up. Then do it.
Listen, let me tell you.
Then do it. First of all, half the time y'all don't even have the money to be able to afford it. Yeah. It's too much money, y'all. I remember now that I don't get high anymore. I just remember now that I see people high, I'm like, I know they don't. This is about to be a shot. I'm sorry, but I'm like, I know they don't know how dumb they look. Like, you look crazy with your eyes red and sitting there like this, looking dumbfounded. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. It is not a good look. And so I just want to put that out there as well. Yeah. Sorry, man.
Listen, we just wanted to let you know that Jesus can make you brand new. And that, I don't know how we got all the way on there, but that's just a clear message to somebody. Yeah. Please take that and change your life. Yeah. I guess I'll answer to this real quick.
Oh my gosh.
It's all good. But for me, body count does matter. You knew that from the beginning. You know, if you're a guy and you can deal with not, you know, you don't matter who she slept with, then cool. I definitely wasn't that guy. I came into the situation and I knew right away. I wanted to know who you slept with. I wanted to know how many you slept with and who you slept with.
You did.
Okay, because that could be a deal breaker in itself. I remember talking to somebody at one point and we was sitting there. I had this girl over to my place and everything. And she said she dealt with, and I started going through her facts. Okay, I'm like, okay, cool. Your resume good. You got a good job. All this, nurse. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Okay, let's see what you're talking about. Who you know that I know? Okay, how you know him? Oh, you slept with him. Oh, that's my frat brother. I will now see you to the door. And I literally like, it wasn't like that, but it kind of was like, oh. And she was like, come, are you serious? Like, that's really a problem. Like, yeah. She like, are you serious? You gonna really be you tripping over that? Yes, I am. And I couldn't. Here's the thing. Fast forward to eventually, I think by the time we got married, we ended up coming back to our old church, and my frat brother now goes to the church. And so I was just like, what if I would have ended up being with her, and now I got to look at this Negro all the time,
embarrassing,
knowing that he smashed, you know, now like that. It depends. It depends on if you could deal with that person. I couldn't have dealt with knowing the actual person that it was. Okay, I maybe could deal with some people. It was that guy. I was like, nah. Mm-mm.
That's so crazy.
I know he was.
He's
telling
the truth, y'all. Like
literally the truth.
I still remember the very moment where you asked me how many and who.
Yeah.
Like you wanted to know who. Do I know anybody? Like I remember almost trembling. Like I was just like, because I was like, I really want to be with you. Like, this is really gonna be. And I knew, I could tell by your demeanor you were dead serious. Like. If I hear one name, I'm out of here.
Listen, I stopped talking to a girl over some, my non-negotiables are real. Once I got saved, okay, I stopped talking to a girl because she let me know that something was wrong with her. Like it was something about her foot. I'm big on the feet. I want to. Hey, my wife got pretty. Don't y'all ever look at my wife's feet. But hey, listen, that's one of the things that was. Jesus. I was looking. I'm like, Lord, let her. She's so cool. Let her feet be right. Lord, looked at them. Thank cute father. Yeah. Yes. You know what I'm saying? But I stopped it because of, hey, she had a thing about her foot, and I didn't really even see it. She kept telling me about it. And I was just like, it was something that she kept telling me about. She never would let me see it. I'm just like, all right, I know that's going to be a problem down the line. So I just like, all right, cool. Let's let this fade away. And they end up doing that. We just cool friends or whatever. Like, no, I'm sorry. I don't know how we got on that. But body count matters, y'all.
No, that's hilarious, y'all. Because he's really like this.
I'm really like this. And people think, somebody used to call me shallow. I remember one of the girls at church, she'd be like, Dom, you so shallow. So, but hey, listen, this is what I wanted. Yeah. Okay. I don't care. Listen, and I'm okay with you having a double standard if it's your non-negotiable.
Right.
I had a double standard. Listen, I wanted a girl with no kids.
Right.
She had no kids. No. Well, why would you be like that when you had 2 kids by 2 different women? Because I still wanted room to make more. Okay, if we both coming with 2 kids, we's over. I knew my limit. It was a wrap.
Yes.
We didn't need to have no more kids.
Absolutely
so that's my thing. So again, I believe so. For me, yes, body count does matter. It couldn't be past a certain level. And most time, if a woman told me a certain number, I doubled that automatically. Even when she was telling me my number,
that would have been like, nope.
It couldn't be past 10. It couldn't be past 10. Past 10 is like, nah, we
crazy.
Yeah.
What if she's 35 though, babe?
Baby, that's why I didn't make it to that.
Yeah.
Okay. I drafted when it was time. I saw you coming out the lineup, and I saw you, and I was like,
I drafted.
All right, I think she might be the.
That's also the beauty of marrying young. That's the beauty of marrying young, because you got me so young, and my number was.
That's I literally I said that. I think I was telling my homie my bro white boy Rob. I was telling him that when I met you. I said one of the good things too is she ain't, she don't act. I was talking about you. You wasn't there. We was having a conversation. I said, man, she's not past the age limit that I won't go past. But she also don't act, like I think you at that time was 21 going on 22. She don't act like that. She acts more mature than the girls that I've been with this about 30 something now, as far as that goes. And so I said, but also she hasn't had a lot of bodies on her either. And I know if you keep going through life and you keep going through your 20s and you don't really dedicate yourself to abstinence like Portia Love was talking about on Tap In with TK, shameless plug, y'all need to check that out for all you single ladies. Good. But if you don't dedicate your life to that like she has done for over a decade,
them bodies stack.
Them bodies gonna stack.
Yeah.
And now I gotta deal with so many different skeletons I gotta get through just to get to you. And so you unfortunately had to deal with more of that on the vice versa, because I had a higher number. I didn't have nothing crazy. But
it wasn't even your number, it was baby mama.
Yeah, that was one too big or whatever. Yeah. But it's something that could be a major way. I mean, guys now, man, I feel for people out there. I know one of my frat brothers, and this was as of way back when me and you met, he was at 100.
Yeah.
Like, he's like probably my age.
Yeah, I knew.
So he was already at 100. So I'm
a basketball player.
He's still single. He probably at 2 something right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But listen, again, that it matters if it matters to you, and if it's a deal breaker for you. How do you know if it's a deal breaker? Only if you sit down and you write your non-negotiables. Yeah. Okay, your boundaries will set up your pre-existing yes and no's or whatever. Yeah. Like, it's going to set that up. Okay, sorry, yep, she's fine, but that's outside the boundary of what I was looking for. On to the next one. Hey, I think we'll be good friends.
And I just want to also just like get back to a place of like encouraging, and I'm not saying run to the altar and run to go get married. And like, if you are young watching this, like now again, looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would have got married at 19. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have did it
things
even.
Added up, right?
Yeah, like I would have got married even younger to you, because like
you couldn't add to me, but
why?
If all things was, if we were closer, because baby, you was 19. Oh yeah, we could have. Yeah, you was of legal age, but I wouldn't have been looking at you. Go ahead.
Well, yes, you would have. You would have still.
I was 19. But come on,
baby, keep on.
I've been 27. No,
27 and 19.
I just wouldn't have, baby.
Yes, you would. Boy, I would have got you so easily.
Okay, go ahead.
We would have been chopping it up. You would have thought. You would have thought I was little sis.
You barely made it.
I barely made it. That was the best thing that happened in your life. What you mean?
You are. But I'm just saying the age limit. It was the highest. It was the biggest gap that I ever had. And I had to think about it. I had to think long and hard on that.
You did.
But you showed up way more mature and older. Thank God for your sister. Shout out to to all my sisters in love. Okay, sisters in love, Tina, Reese, Tamara. Thank y'all because she was around older women. Not that old. I'm sorry, sis. I'm turning a compliment to something bad. But I'm saying because she had older sisters. Okay. Forgive me, I love y'all. Because she was around older sisters. She had older sisters.
I know.
You know, they know what I mean. Because they still not old right now. I love them. Yeah. They're not old. They don't look it or none of that. Yeah. But because she had an example that was more of maturity, and you was always around it, and you hung with your mama. You said you used to be sitting at the coffee shops with your mama and them,
Denny's.
and they doing Bible study, and
my
you
mama,
sitting up there as a teenager. Again, your whole residue was just like this older person. That's why I think now, even we kind of got sidetracked, but that's why even now, even when you're around girls that's around your age or whatever, you're younger than a lot of them, but you show up like way more, like I guess show up way more mature in a way.
That's a whole nother subject.
Yeah, because you was around. You're gonna be like your surroundings.
I be coming back from a place. I be like, baby, I feel old.
Yeah.
Like I be like, I don't move like them. Like I just don't have all of that rah-rah too much in me anymore. Yeah. Like not like that, but like I just like Nnamdi said, I was raised with I was around my uncle who was a pastor, my mom who would be considered like she's not a young mom. So I mean I don't think she cares. I'm 29, my mom is 63. No, 5.
She is.
So that's you know what you know. So that's that. I was back in the day. They told me I had older parents. So I had older parents, and I hung with my mama a lot. And so that was a big point. But oh my gosh, what was I about to say? What was the last thing we said?
About your sisters.
No, it was about something. Yes. This is why I encourage, and this is only for look. You can fast forward this. If this ain't for you, it ain't for you. If it is for you, you're going to know it's for you. This is why I encourage women, like, I just want to kind of find myself in my 20s. I never desired to have my own house. I never desired to have my own apartment. I never desired to pay bills and, like, be out here. Because I know what comes along with that. Like, if I got my own spot, I'm going to have a dude slide up. Like if I knew that back then, even when I wasn't necessarily striving to be abstinent, but I knew what came with having your own spot as a grown adult. I didn't want that. I knew numbers would start adding up. And that is the beauty for me. Like, what I'm saying is now being, almost 7 years in with you married, 8 years together in August, That's probably my biggest accomplishment. One of them, obviously, outside of Christ, being a mom, all of that, is marrying young. Because now I'm like, okay, I don't know how many bodies I would have had. Yeah. Like I'm able to brag about a low count now because
saying you would have been out here, but just
not out here. But okay, let's just say I'm 29, and let's just say I had a boyfriend every 2 to 3 years. Yeah. That number still adds up. Yeah. Because a lot of times people ain't out here bad and just this dude next and this dude. They're in relationships and they're settled down and they keep getting in relationships. You keep doing a year relationship, a 6-month relationship. Next thing you look up, you will have 10 plus, 15 plus. You 35, 40. Yeah, you got 30 partners, you know? So
now you're giving up on love.
Right. Now you don't want to get married. Now you just want your animals in your career. Yeah. Like, so no, it being in this place of getting married young. That's why I talk to my nieces or any young woman that watches this. Like, don't believe that foolishness. Like, go find yourself first. You gonna find yourself in penises. Yep. That's what you gonna find. Find yourself in bodies. Yep. Find yourself in soul ties. Yep. And you ain't finding yourself. You actually losing yourself as you continuously give yourself away. To all
these people, little bits and pieces.
Then you get settled down. You 35 want to get married after 400 people, and now you gotta go find. Gotta take this back from Damien. Gotta take this back from Daquan. Gotta take this back from Michael. That's what you really gotta do. Yeah. And that's why we say, y'all, there's consequences to living that lifestyle. Yeah. Yes, God will bless you for eventually getting it right and doing it right, but that don't take away the reaping of what you sowed. So
overall, like body count does matter. Listen, like she's saying, I say if you're a young person watching this, I'm talking about you in your teens, somehow you didn't came up on this, you in your early 20s or whatever, man. Find Christ early. get dedicated and have a relationship with him, get in purpose, and then get yourself married. That is a great thing that you
if you
can
desire.
Yeah, if you desire.
Yeah, because people don't desire
Believers,
that no more. Oh, but
no. If you're a believer, unless you got the gift, like Paul said, of being basically singleness, which is pretty much none of us, meaning that you singleness, meaning that you not actually having sex. Like you got the gift of not even desiring sex or anything.
Yeah.
Which I don't believe is much of nobody. Okay, then yes, you need to find Christ, find your purpose. Then, like I said, go ahead and get yourself married. You ain't got to go through all this wreck of your singleness and thrown by the waves, anyway, and be anchored. Man, Listen, again, I'll say reference to, I'm sorry, shameless plug on the Tap In with TK with Portia Love. She definitely blessed it and did a great job as far as singles. Y'all definitely should check that out. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's it. Overall, like I know we're going to sound repetitive, but definitely. If it works, it works. If it ain't broken, we ain't fixing nothing. No. So, you know what I'm saying? Like we're going to, but we're not saying the same thing without connecting our lives to it and our experiences to it. Like we're not saying these things because we're so far away from it. Like, that hurt. Hurt bad. That decision hurt.
Still dealing with some pain. But you know what I'm saying? But God's grace, you're looking at a product of grace. I don't want anybody, I said this today to you, I said, I hope people don't compare their day one, like to what our 7 years in the game.
Their what now?
Like their day one to our 7 years in the game. And what I'm saying as far as marriage, like, well, you telling me not to do this, you telling me to do that, but look at y'all.
Yeah.
Like, it's no, like, you seeing grace through a lot of consequential things that happen in some early parts.
Grace and a lot of hard work.
Yeah, a lot of hard work.
Like
a lot, like being anchored in Christ. You may not be able to make it through that part of it. And so that's why we're saying, hey, listen, I know you seeing us here. You may not make it that far. You may end up with the D word. Y'all might end up in divorce court and be done as far as that goes because you did not want to listen to us or whatever the case may be. And so we wanted to put that out there.
Yes.
Kind of went into a different segue as far as that goes, but that's the end of our show, man.
Yes, I just want to also add, like, if y'all believe that body count matters, comment down below.
Please.
Let us know what you think. What's the max number for you? I know that's going to be different for every.
I want to see. I want to see what y'all say.
I really want to know. Like, let's talk in the comments section. We love to meet y'all there. Y'all let us know down below.
Yes.
But that wraps everything up.
That wraps up. Hey, another episode.
This was a heavy one.
Episode number 8. It's very heavy.
Ooh, I spiritually feel that they're gonna be mad.
Oh man, it's gonna be some comments that people don't agree with it. Hey, you don't have to agree with it. Go ahead and I tell people, I'm the type of person. Yeah, I'm the type of person that I'll let you bust your face. All right, come holler at me after you bust your face.
Yeah,
and then then we'll talk again.
Yeah.
But hey, if you don't believe me, you here's the thing. Here's the problem. If you hear us now, you're supposed to make the change. If you don't make the change, you're gonna hear the echo of our voice when you make the mistake. Then now you're dealing with the consequence.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a big problem. I've been there.
And I also want to say, I really, really, really want to say this, and I pray that the Lord allows me to bump into the soul tie prayer. If not, I will ask the Lord to lead me into making one. If you are dealing with, if you are dealing with a soul tie, if you are struggling with disconnecting from a sexual partner, the trauma, even if that is some sexual abuse that you've went through, molestation and other assaults, or you just want to break free and you see and you sense through these conversations like, I might be dealing with a soul tie or many, or maybe you're like me and you just moved on, you repented and you kept going, but you didn't actually cut the soul tie. I am going to leave the prayer down below for you to read. Again, if we don't have it, I'm asking the Lord to lead me into creating one on our own, because I think that is so crucial for us as believers to walk, like if you're single and even if you're married, like to walk in the freedom. There is freedom in disconnecting, and it is available to you. And once that you ask God for forgiveness and you cut that thing, the Bible says that it washes away in the sea. You won't see it anymore as long as you walk in it. And so I just want to put that out there. If you're dealing with a soul tie, you want to break it, check the description box. I'll leave the prayer down below.
Yes. End of our show, man. We thank y'all for rocking with us. Like she said, like, subscribe, do all that, comment, share, everything.
Run it up.
Until next time, we holler at y'all. Y'all be blessed. Peace. Hey, thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and please do not forget to hit that notification bell. We need y'all to be locked in every single time we drop this fire content. Yes. Also, we need y'all to follow us on all social media platforms at the Ewaybos. And look, we will see y'all on the next video. Holla.